Hey there everybody, it's Molly from Once Upon a Prologue, here to do the second edition of my new weekly, hey I got books this week ma'am. It is Once Upon a Book Haul. I'm still not used to saying that, so if I slip and say in my mailbox, kind of bear with me, but here we go. Actually had a really exciting week, and once again, I really have more books than I feel comfortable trying to juggle in one video. So I'm going to show you guys a couple this week, plus the book that I want to spotlight, and then we'll try this again next week. As amazing as I would like to appear, having like a billion books, it's not true, but I already have a little stack going on here. I'd rather show you guys a few less and kind of have something to show you next week than show you, you know, my massive amount of books now. It's not that massive, but I did buy some books tonight, so that'll be next week, and week after, and maybe the week after that. Okay. The first two books I'm going to show you guys actually came to me courtesy of Around the World Art Tours. If you've never visited that site, or Around the World is really awesome. It's actually kind of helped me. When I get on book tours there, I don't request the art, so even though it means I can't do as many art giveaways, I still get to experience some really awesome books thanks to the wonderful ladies that run that site. And this way I only keep the art for a week, I read it and pass it on, and a lot of other people get to experience the joy of those books. So the first one is Miracle by Elizabeth Scott. I've never read anything by her before. I have a couple of her books on my to-be-read list on Goodreads, but I don't own any. And she's one of those authors that I don't know that I really would be reading this book if I didn't, if I wasn't on the art tour, because with new authors, someone basically has to shove the book in my hand unless I'm really excited about it. And this one, it's a contemporary, so I was excited about it. So in kind of a contradictory way, I actually really wanted to be on this tour. It's a really short book. It is barely 200 pages. I may stay up and try to finish it tonight because I'm only about 30 pages in, or I may finish it tomorrow. It depends on when the caffeine wears off. But it seems kind of cool so far. I keep getting kind of like a Fracture vibe from it by Megan Miranda, which I really liked, and that will probably go away over the course of this book because they do seem different, but I hope I love this one. I just looked down at the next one I'm going to show you guys, and I'm still a little emotional over it. The next one, thanks to Around the World Art Tours again, is A Want So Wicked by Suzanne Young. I read this book in about 2 days. I very easily could have read it in 1 day, but I wanted to wait. I just wanted to savor it. So I read it in 2 days. This is the amazing sequel to A Need So Beautiful. And I didn't realize this is just a duology. So I had to go research that when I finished this one because it's emotional. I laughed. I cried. Sue's over The Soul Unsung, who, if you guys don't know, is an awesome person and one of my best friends and a great blogger, was on the tour before me, and when she sent me the book, she wrote on the package, you know, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna love this book, and she was right. I'm gonna have a review up for this one really soon, and I think it comes out, I think it's out on my birthday, June 26th, but I know it's out around the end of June, and you guys want this. If you haven't read A Need So Beautiful, I'll send you my hardback copy. Suzanne Young is awesome, and I really cannot wait to see what else she writes. This one was in some ways what I was expecting, and then in some ways it wasn't, and those are good ways. This book really just tugs at your heartstrings, and I still am thinking about it, and I finished it 2 days ago. Okay, I received a couple books for review. I'm only showing you guys one this week. Like I said, I don't want this stack to get so high it topples over on me because that would be bad. I marked this one I'm going to show you as to be read the other day, and I didn't realize. I think it's the second in a series, and I think I haven't read the first one. But it's Black Watch by Jenna Burtonshaw. This one actually came as a surprise from Harper. I had requested an ARC, and this one, along with a couple other books, were in the package. So thank you, Harper. Thank you, HarperCollins. You rock my socks. This one, apparently, this series has been out in, I guess, the UK already, and they've already gotten, I think, the first book and maybe the second book, and then we're getting them over here in the US. This looks really good. I'm just kind of hesitant to try it, and it would also mean that before I could read this one, I would need to get my hands on the first one, and I don't know if I have the time, so as amazing as this book looks, and again, thank you to Harper for gifting me with this. If anyone would like to read this and wants to do an ARC trade, maybe you have something I've been wanting to read, or even if you want this ARC, I'll probably be doing like a giveaway, or I would be willing just to say, hey, you want it? You know, give me your address and I'll send it to you. Maybe you have the first book in the series, maybe you've read the first book, maybe you've been dying to read this one. It's not that I don't want it, I just don't think I'm going to have time to read the first book and then read this one in a timely manner. But it does look really great. It's definitely like a young adult, paranormal, you know, magic and myth type stuff, and normally I'm all over that. But this one I'm just, like I said, I'm kind of behind, or trying not to get behind. I bought a couple books. I bought a finished copy of Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. I know you guys have all seen the cover, but ignore the glare. It's a beautiful cover. If you don't have a finished copy of this book, you need it. It's really, really good. I have seen a few mixed reviews, and a lot of reviewers are kind of turned off on how goody-goody the main character is, but she really, I promise you, Anna will grow on you over the course of this book, and you will love it. You'll laugh, you'll scream, you'll cry some more, you'll laugh again. This one really takes you on an emotional journey, and you grow with Anna. I can't even say how much I love this book. Give it a try. You know, if you want to read my review, if you want me to give you a list of reasons you should read it, I will do it. But I had to have a finished copy. It's one of the very few debuts I read this year that I have actually splurged on a finished copy. So it gets added to my collection. I don't know if you guys can see. Totally rearranged my bookshelf. The second shelf is now my young adult bookshelf. So yay! I had my young adult books on a bottom shelf, and they were stacked in a really messy way. So now they get to spread out. And Sweet Evil will be joining that bookshelf. The other book that I bought, and this is a really rare thing for me to do, but the other book that I bought based off a review. I bought it because I'd heard about it, and I'd kind of put it to the side of my to be read. I didn't request an ARC. I didn't even think I wanted to really read it. And then Mimi over at Mimi Valentine's blog, Mimi is awesome, reviewed it. And I don't know if you guys know Mimi. If you don't, you need to know Mimi. Mimi's always very enthusiastic about the book she likes, kind of like me when I make that squee noise that I do sometimes. And she really, really loved this book, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. Just a couple of the things she had to say about it really made me interested, and it was actually in paperback and not that expensive. So it is Storm by Bridget Kinnemer. It's the first in a series, but all she had to say was that there's like 4 really hot brothers, and they have a lot of banter and brotherly bonding, and I'm there. My favorite thing to write and to read is sibling relationships when they're done right. Not nasty, not, you know, people that don't get along, but really cool sibling relationships. And if this book has it, and it's as action-packed and awesome as Mimi made it sound, and as I think it is from really reading the synopsis, I think I'm going to love it. So, hopefully I do. I think next week I'm going to do like a Nook roundup of the books I've downloaded from my Nook. I've got several, like a lot, and I've been really lucky. I've gotten some good deals, so I'll probably include that in my mailbox next week, because that could actually take a couple minutes, but I want to kind of get it down pat and be able to show you guys like the covers rather than just saying, oh, I bought this, this, and this, because that's not very exciting. But I did tell you guys, I did promise that I was going to show you a spotlight book this week. I'm going to keep trying to do that. And it may end up being one from the bookshelf that, you know, I'm looking forward to reading. But for right now, I'm going to try to keep finding one that I have just read that was awesome. Okay, it's Shadow and Bone this time by Leigh Bardugo. This book broke my heart and managed to put it back together. I finished it a couple days ago. I actually sat on the back porch in the sunshine to finish it, and with my family standing out there, I cried my eyes out. Leigh is seriously amazingly talented. She's an awesome person, very friendly and fun to talk to, and she has created a unique story when I didn't think it could be done. I said it in my review, and I'll kind of paraphrase here. When I opened and read the first couple pages of Shadow and Bone, starting from the prologue and going on to about chapter 1 or 2, and I got a feel for what this amazing book was, I felt like I'd come home. You know, I'd come home to my sci-fi fantasy genre. And yes, it's young adult, and that's different from when I started reading sci-fi fantasy, because I started with Terry Brooks, David Eddings, Barbara Hambly, you know, oh goodness, all those kind of the authors that I read as I was growing up. But young adult isn't the young adult that I grew up on, and this is a mature, amazing, awesome book. I'm really proud of the ways that young adult writing is changing, and how amazing and intense and thoroughly satisfying a lot of these young adult books out here are. I have tons of respect for authors, and I really respect Leigh for just taking a chance and doing something that in some ways, the age-old elements are there, but she has breathed so much life into this book and into these characters that if you don't cry and laugh and clap reading this book, there's something wrong with you. I loved it. I so loved Alina, the main character, and Mal, her best friend in the book, and it's probably because I got a vibe off them that I got from one of my other favorite book couples, and I'm not going to say who because I'm just curious if anybody else gets the same feel. But they just absolutely broke my heart, and then pieced it back together, and I cannot even tell you how much I'm waiting for book 2. This was awesome. So that's the book I'm spotlighting this week. I'm also doing an art giveaway. It's going through next Thursday, I believe. You want this book. I would prefer for you to buy a finished copy, but I want someone to have my art. You've got a little time before this one comes out. You can read this copy for free if you win it, and then hopefully you will pre-order a copy if you have not done so already. This is one of my favorite books so far this year. It's one of the best books I've read in the last couple years, so please enter my giveaway. It's kind of lonely. Not many people are entering, and Shadow and Bone could use some love, you guys. Okay, that is my book haul for this week. I've got a couple new reviews, probably a discussion post coming up on the blog. I just this last Friday did an author interview with Zoraida Cordova, the author of The Vicious Deep. I didn't get to pimp that one out because I was at work, stupid work, on Friday. So if you missed that, swing back by that post, give that post a little bit of love. And don't forget to leave me the links to your book haul memes, whether it's stacking the shelves, even if it's in my mailbox. I mean, whatever you do, however you're choosing to show off your fabulous books, I want to see. So if I don't make it to your blog, if I miss you by accident, leave me the links, and I will come and visit you. And until we meet again, I will say happy reading. Bye!